Most teams break under pressure in predictable ways. The warning signs are measurable months before the crisis, but only if you know what to look for. My doctoral research identified 5 specific constructs that predict whether a team can perform under pressure. 5 leading indicators. Each one measurable. Each one connected in a model that explains 73.9% of the variance in team adaptive performance. Over the last 5 videos, I've walked you through the research, the model itself, how coaching's impact flows through invisible pathways, why the teams that need coaching the most benefit from it the most, and what the data showed in healthcare and technology. Today is the synthesis. I'm going to show you how the 5 constructs actually work together as a diagnostic, what a team profile looks like, how to interpret the scores, and how to translate the diagnostic into a specific coaching prescription. This is the practical application video, the how. Quick recap on the 5 constructs, but this time I want you to think about them as a diagnostic, not just as a model. Team coaching, the input, measures whether the team has the coaching infrastructure to build the other capacities. Low score here means every other construct is vulnerable because the upstream investment isn't happening. Team resilience, the structural capacity to absorb disruption. Low score means the team is fragile. Works fine in real calm conditions, but collapse when the pressure hits. Team goal commitment. This is more of the shared ownership of outcomes. Low score means the team complies with direction, but doesn't really internalize it. High risk during strategy change. Team learning agility. Capacity to unlearn and adapt. Low score here means the team is stuck in old patterns even when conditions require change to happen. Last, team adaptive performance. This is the outcome. How well the team handles crisis, solves creative problems, deals with uncertainty, learns new tasks, adjusts to interpersonal stress. This is what you're trying to improve. See, I'm trying to have you look at the model from a diagnostic lens at this point. When you measure all 5, the pattern of scores tells you where your team is strong, where it's vulnerable, and what specific intervention would produce the most impact. It's not about a single construct. I do not believe teams exist on a single factor. It's a combination of things. That combination of things is what the profile tells you all about. All right, so let me show you what a ThrivQ team profile actually looks like. Imagine a team for a moment. Just imagine a team. The scores have come in. Coaching is 3.2, resilience 3.8, commitment 3.1, learning agility 4.1, and adaptive performance is 3.9. What does that profile tell you? I can tell you 3 things immediately. First, the team has a reasonable learning agility. Their capability of unlearning old approaches, that's a strength to build on, y'all. Second, commitment is the weakest construct at 3.1. The team doesn't have strong shared ownership of goals. That's where performance is likely leaking. Based on my research, commitment's indirect effect is the strongest pathway in the model. So raising this score has a disproportionate impact. Third, coaching is 3.2. It's low. The upstream investment that would build commitment is absent or not working as expected. So the coaching infrastructure needs to come first, y'all, because coaching is the lever that raises the three pathways. I'm talking about the two mediators and the moderator. The diagnostic prescription writes itself from the profile. So you got to get the profile. Start with coaching. Focus on coaching on goal commitment. That's the first place to really begin. Preserve and leverage the existing learning agility and keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for resilience, because any degradation from pressure, you want to see and know that as soon as possible. There's a lot of power in the profile, y'all. This isn't guesswork at this point. This isn't a coach's opinion based on a conversation. This is a data-driven intervention plan derived from measured constructs and a validated model. Every team's profile is different. Every profile produces a different prescription, y'all. The diagnostic makes coaching precise instead of generic. Let me walk you through how ThrivQ actually works as a diagnostic tool. Step 1, the team takes the assessment. Every member responds to the items measuring the 5 constructs. The instruments are the validated scales that I used in a dissertation. Morgeson's coaching scales, the team resilience measure from Tannenbaum and colleagues, a modified goal commitment scale, my adapted individual differences learning agility scale at the team level, the team adaptive performance scale. They take all of them. Step 2, the system generates team's profile. The 5 scores are visualized. The percentile comparisons to my 291 person data set, and the statistical interpretation of where the team actually sits. Then you got step 3. The diagnostic generates specific coaching recommendations based on a profile. Here, I am not talking about generic advice, seriously. Specific prescriptions tied to which constructs are the weakest, which pathways are most leveraged, and where coaching intervention will produce the highest marginal return. Step 4. After the coaching intervention, the team is reassessed. Because we gotta grab the delta, y'all. The delta across all 5 constructs becomes the measurable return on investment, the ROI we're looking for. That's the language you can bring to executives who think in data, not in anecdotes. Pre-coaching baseline, post-coaching measurement, delta calculated, return on investment, ROI demonstrated. Why this matters. Most coaching engagements can't prove ROI. I've been there. I've done that. Because they never establish a baseline. ThrivQ fixes that by making the baseline a required first step. It's how coaching gets treated like any other serious investment that we're making. Measured before, measured after, with accountability to the data. All right, so let me put something on the table right now. ThrivQ isn't for every leader or every team. Let me be specific about who it fits. It's for executives leading teams in complex, changing environments, not teams doing routine, predictable work. Teams where adaptive performance actually matters. I'm thinking like VUCA conditions, the AI disruption, industry transformation. It's for organizations investing in coaching and wanting to measure the return with methodological rigor. If you're spending significant budget on team development, you should know whether it's working or not. ThrivQ gives you the measurement framework to answer that question. It's for leaders who suspect their teams have structural issues but can't diagnose it precisely. You feel something is off. Turnover is actually up. Folks are feeling burned out. Performance is inconsistent. Strategic initiatives stalled in execution. ThrivQ tells you where the break is actually happening. And it's for coaches and consultants who want to bring evidence-based rigor to their work. This is different. If you're advising organizations on team performance, ThrivQ gives you the validated diagnostic and the research-backed language to differentiate yourself from the competitors who rely on generic frameworks. Ain't nothing generic about this here. Nothing at all. You got to be honest with yourself about the fit, though. ThrivQ isn't a quick fix tool. It's a diagnostic and a measurement framework. The value is in the precision it gives coaching engagements and the accountability it gives executives who want to see the ROI. If you want generic leadership development, this right here ain't for you. It isn't for you at all. If you want evidence-based team performance measurement tied to validated research models, this is exactly that. 6 videos, 1 research study, 1 integrated model that explains 73.9% of the variance and how teams perform. I started this series with one question. What actually predicts whether a team can adapt when conditions change? Not in theory, y'all. Not in theory. In data. Today, we close the loop by showing you how to translate the research into a diagnostic you can apply to your own team. If you've watched the whole series, you now know more about team adaptive performance than most executives leading teams today. You have the research foundation, the 5 constructs, the key findings, the industry patterns, and the diagnostic framework. What comes next depends on what you do with it. Let me be direct with you. If you're ready to see what ThrivQ reveals about your team, just take the free assessment at atypical.com. The link is going to be in the description. There's not going to be any pitches there. There's not going to be any generic proposals. All it is going to be is you taking a simple assessment and is going to provide you some results that are AI enabled. It'll be different for every single team you do it with. And you can take that anytime. It's available for you 24/7. Do that. If you need more, you got any more questions, you can set up a conversation with me, right? And then we can take it further if you need to really do whole teams and work throughout the organization. I do want to do this now, though. I want to thank you for staying with me through the series. The research took me 5 years. The translation and the practice is just getting started. And this channel is where that conversation continues, okay? New video series is coming in June. If you want to see where this goes, you should subscribe. From complexity to capability. I'll see you in the next one.